Thank you for staying with us on the news at 7. The ancient town of Owo in our local government area of Ondo State yesterday played host to dignitaries from all walks of life who joined Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu and his siblings for the Thanksgiving service commemorating the 90th birthday of their mother, Lady Evangelist Grace Akeredolu. In his sermon, the Bishop of our Anglican Diocese, the Right Reverend Dr. Stephen Fagbemi, who spoke on celebrating 90 years of uncommon grace in the life of Grace, noted that God has been kind to Lady Evangelist Grace Akeredolu to witness the celebration in sound health and joy. Government House correspondent Wahab Bankole reports that the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum and Governor of Ekiti State, Dr. Kayode Fayemi, coordinated the cutting of the birthday cake.
Following the Holy Communion service marking the 90th birthday celebration of Lady Evangelist Grace Akeredolu in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, the children, family members and well-wishers have come before God for a special Thanksgiving service. The Cathedral Church of St. Andrew Imola Owo was filled to the brim as top government functionaries, including Governor of Ekiti State Kayode Fayemi, Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, Gboyega Oyetola of Osun, Dapo Abiodun of Ogun, and Seyi Makinde of Oyo State, represented by his deputy Rauf Olaniyan, joined Governor Akeredolu and his siblings to mark the 90th birthday of Lady Evangelist Grace Akeredolu. In his sermon titled Celebrating 90 Years of Uncommon Grace in the Life of Grace, Bishop of our Anglican Diocese, Right Reverend Stephen Fagbemi, noted that the kindness, love, grace and blessings of God have kept the nonagenarian in good health and joy.
And what we are celebrating today is that exhibit of God's skill and trophy of His grace. And that is why today we are gathered to rejoice. Because in the life of Mama Grace Akeredolu, God has been gracious.
Family members and well-wishers joined the celebrant and her children for the Thanksgiving. The inauguration of a solar power facility donated to the cathedral by the children of the celebrant rounded off the Thanksgiving service, while attention shifted to a reception organized in honor of the nonagenarian. Chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum and Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, coordinated the cutting of the birthday cake. Some children, family members and well-wishers congratulated Mama Grace Akeredolu, describing her as God-fearing.
To celebrate 90 years of life. She is an outstanding mother. And I was your mother.
From Owo, Wahab Bankole, Osrc News.
Of course, this is wishing Lady Evangelist Grace Akeredolu many more years in sound health and joy. All right, moving to another celebration. The Bishop of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, our diocese, the Right Reverend Isaac Oshun-Yuigbe, has rolled out the drums to celebrate his 60th birthday with a Thanksgiving service. Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu and the Prelate of the Methodist Church of Nigeria, Dr. Chukwuemeka Kanu-Uche, were among dignitaries who witnessed the event, which took place at the Methodist Cathedral, Bogi, in Akure. Omori Elawungbeji reports that the multi-million naira church building was also unveiled at the event.
Celebrating joyous moments comes in different forms, depending on the view of the celebrant. But for Right Reverend Isaac Oshun-Yuigbe, attaining the age of 60 is a blessing which requires giving back to God. The church choir and Chapel of Grace Government House Choir also added melody to the event. The officiating minister, Prelate, Methodist Church Nigeria, Dr. Samuel Chukwuemeka Kanu-Uche, who centered his message on forget not his benefits, said, "There is power in thanksgiving as it qualifies Christians." For Chief of Staff Olubenga Ali and Deji of Akure, Obaladelusi Aladetoyinbo lauded Bishop Oshun-Yuigbe for his contributions towards the growth of the state.
The words are there for God to see, a life of service and sacrifice for the humanity of the people, both the young and the old, the rich and the poor. I admire the leadership, leadership policies as exemplified in different positions that you have held in the last couple of years in the Lord's vineyard.
The bishop has been doing so wonderfully well since he has been ordained.
The celebrant, his wife and children expressed their joy through dance steps as they were ushered into the reception hall.
It's not too much for me to give to God because the Lord has spared my life. I said so the other time. I should be no more in this world, but the Lord has kept me alive. Wherever we are today, it is the Lord's doing.
The Lord has been so good to us. He has blessed us with children that obey the Lord, that fear the Lord. They didn't give us problem, and to the glory of God, almost all of them are graduates. The Lord has blessed us in so many ways. So there's nothing I can do than to support Him, to give everything unto the giver of everything.
Father, love you, Father, as well. And caring, most importantly.
Chairman of the event, Mrs. Omodolaison, relatives and church members said Bishop Oshun-Yuigbe's arrival to our diocese in December last year has brought about tremendous growth. Commissioning of multi-million naira church building for the expansion of gas work was also performed by Prelate Chukwuemeka Kanu-Uche. Meanwhile, an evening of praise was earlier held as part of activities marking the event. Omori Elawungbeji, Osrc News.
The story of a memorable day in the lives of the families of Owo Onira and Yunus is next, but that will be after the break. Please stay with us.
Not too much berekete. Plus is here. Existing Glow customers will get 400% bonus on every recharge and 100 MB data bonus on first recharge of the month. New Glow customers will get 1,000 Naira welcome bonus. To activate, buy a new Glow SIM today or dial *777# for existing Glow customers.
Thank you for staying with us on the news at 7. The families of Owo, Niran and Yunus spared no expense as their children, Monrufat and Yusuf, exchanged marital vows after years of courtship. The Nikai, which took place at the A&T Presidential Hotel in Akure, was witnessed by family and friends. OSRC's Bisola Aluko was there and completes the story.
After 8 years of friendship, Morifat Owoniro and Yusuf Yunus decided to make their relationship official in Akure, the Ondo State capital. The officiating minister, Chief Imam of the Ansaruddin Society of Akure, Mikaeli Modupeola, charged the couple to be faithful companions and make God the bedrock of their marriage.
Affection is love. Don't be a pretender. Give your wife a good affection.
Thereafter, the couple were joined in line with Islamic wedding customs and the bride handed over to the groom. They sealed their love by signing their marriage certificates in the presence of family and friends. The couple pledged their avowed commitment to each other in their marital vows. At the reception, to celebrate the couple, family, friends, and guests honored Morifat and Yusuf in style, making it an unforgettable entrance for them. Radiating with happiness, the couple thanked God for the journey so far and prayed for the wisdom, patience, and grace needed to navigate their marriage.
I feel good, yes. I really feel good. I'm very, very excited. When it comes to marriage, I pray it will bring the fruitful one.
Great home, happy home, with long life and understanding.
For the parents of the newlywed, God alone deserves the glory. They also charged the couple to give the marriage the handwork it deserves to make it work.
Inú mi dùn lónìí, inú mi dùn gan, inú mi dùn gan.
Àwọn fìfẹ́ so wọ́n pọ̀, kí wọ́n bára wọn gbé kalẹ̀, kíkú ọmọ yà wọ́n, káìsàn ọmọ yà wọ́n.
Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kẹ́mìrì ò gbé bẹ́ẹ̀. Bàbá ti ń lóyún, ọmọ àsọ̀pẹ́ ló rọrùn.
To wrap up the ceremony, Morifat and Yusuf made their toast to love and happiness forever. Bisola Aluko, OSRC News.
Beautiful couple, beautiful event. Of course, this is wishing them all the best as they journey together in life. Let's go to the foreign scene. Somalia is experiencing its worst drought in 40 years. More than 500,000 people have left their homes to seek food and water as they lost their livestock and were unable to grow crops. Some of them have arrived at a camp for displaced people in Mogadishu. Odwayo Soya reports.
Rukio Hussein Ahmed says when she planted her last handful of seeds on her farm, rain never came. With no food left, she started to make her way here, Somalia's capital Mogadishu, with her 4 children. Their journey began on the back of a truck. Then things got worse.
The truck driver said, "This is my last stop. You can continue on your own to Mogadishu." We sat down under a tree. My 2 babies were in bad condition because of hunger and thirst. Then, all of a sudden, I found they had white eyes. They had died. There was a lady living there who helped me to bury them by the roadside.
Rukio and her 2 surviving children are among a rapidly growing number of people who are now staying in camps like this in the outskirts of the city. More than 1,000 people are living in the settlement. Where they have come from, the situation has been deteriorating, and the humanitarian aid agency says it is about to get much worse. Most of them have come from the southern part of Somalia, where they depended on farming and herding livestock until the last 3 rainy seasons failed. Crops withered and animals died. Here they are surviving on 1 meal a day. This woman's husband was one of the first men to arrive. She is a community leader and has been trying to find help with little success.
The situation around here is extremely difficult. People are hungry and in poor health. People don't even have shelter. Every time a car passes here, people think that somebody is coming to give them food.
It is a similar story all around the outskirts of Mogadishu. The UN says more than 60,000 people have arrived here in the last 4 months, and across the country, more than 500,000 people have been displaced by drought. Humanitarian aid organizations say they only have 3% of the funds needed to help them.
The solution is for everyone to act fast. We need more fund. We need more attention to the drought. We need support from the donor agencies, from donor countries, to the Somali people. That's what we need now.
Meanwhile, Somalia's government is entangled in an ongoing and fraught electoral process. Much of the world's attention is focused on the war in Ukraine. People here have been left destitute. They are waiting and wondering if anyone will come to help. Odunayo Sawyer, OSRC News.
From Somalia, let's journey to the Ukrainian capital, where a volunteer force has emerged, helping those unable to leave. The network, which is supporting some of Kiev's most vulnerable people, works under the umbrella of an organization called Love Life, which helped the homeless and vulnerable before the war. Amid a Russian onslaught, it is one of the only organizations of its kind still operating, and the demand for its services now far outstrips its capacity.
I always wanted to do humanitarian work. I don't have grandparents, so this helps me compensate for that. It really comes from my heart.
I was in hospital with heart problems, and my daughter died recently. I have a niece who could help, but public transport is shut, so she can't get here. Right now I don't need anything, because they brought me things, but this won't last long.
Okay, let's check sports. Paris Saint-Germain were beaten 3-0 by Monaco after a Wissam Ben Yedder double strike, as Neymar and Kylian Mbappe were both booked in a fierce feisty League One encounter. The champions remain 15 points clear of second-place Marseille at the top of League One after the fourth league defeat of the season for Mauricio Pochettino's men, who have been shaken since being dumped out of the Champions League by Real Madrid. Monaco captain Ben Yedder is now League One's top scorer with 18 goals after his 25th minute tap-in from a rebound and an 84th minute penalty. Ben Yedder also helped in the build-up for German striker Kevin Volland's goal for Monaco, making it 2-0 on 68 minutes in what was the real turning point of the game. And just before we go on the news tonight, a quick look at the major stories. The Ondo State government has directed mining companies to obtain clearance for unhindered operations in the state. The federal government has commenced COVID-19 cash transfer to beneficiaries in Ondo State. We also told you that the Department of State Services, DSS, says it has put in place measures to forestall plans by some elements to cause havoc in the country. And from the foreign scene, humanitarian agencies have warned of a catastrophic crisis in Somalia as the country experiences the worst drought in 40 years. That's it on the news at 7. Thank you for being a part of it. Good evening.